Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, Silver's Center. Let's explore. Now, there's no real angle in this video. We're just going to talk about the fundamentals of what silver is about, kind of the central focus of silver. That's it. Sometimes we just have to take a step back and maybe peek around the edges of the outside of the circle and look inward to see what it's about. Idealistically and in a general sense, what is the center of the focus that we should have on silver? You hear on this channel and many other channels predictions about where the price of silver should be, where it could be, and where we think it will be in any given moment of time. There's some of us that predict that silver is going to get to $30, to $100, to maybe even $500 or $1,000 in a certain scenario or case. Many people feel that silver's price is undervalued, but price seems to be the focus. In reality, we need to step back and look inward. That's right. Look inward to ourselves and look about what is valuable as opposed to what kind of price you can put anything. Can you put a price on silver in reality? Something that has, in many ways, immeasurable value because it's intrinsically there. It always has been there. The historic value, really can't put a price on that. And I think that's where we get tripped up many times when we talk about silver. And especially we get a little bit down when the price falls, like it did at one time below $23 an ounce in recent days and weeks here. But after we have seen it climb up to $50 an ounce back in 2011, or very close to it, many of us felt like it could go higher. And we had all the good reasons why it should because of what was going on in the world at the time. Many of us feel that what's going on right now is what has occurred then at a greater scale. What kind of scale are we talking about? It's a different scenario. It's a different world. But we're doing a lot of the same things we did before. So how do you calculate its value if it's not realizing the price that it should be? Well, I think that's the point of maturity that we need to take with regards to silver. It's about being realistic about silver. It sells itself because of its value, not because of its price. And when we take into account that scenario and that situation, it makes things a lot easier for us because we aren't under the pressure or under the gun to have to think about price all the time. When is the price most important to us? Well, at the point of purchase and at the point of sale. Those are the only times where price is important to us. We can feel better about ourselves for the stack that we have. We're looking at a couple of Silver Eagles that arguably I could probably get cheaper today than when they were purchased. We can feel good when the price goes up while we're holding it, and we can be a little bit depressed when the price goes down when we have a seemingly lost leader when the price is lower and we need to sell these Eagles. Well, those premiums that were there back when they were purchased, now they're starting to go away a little bit now. And so you can get down in the dumps about it, or you can just hold on to it for the ride. And what is that ride like? That ride is about a journey. It's about a journey to the center of the mind of silver, so to speak. And that center is the focus. It's about understanding the fundamentals of what silver is about, its intrinsic value that transcends time, space, and epochs, generations, politics, cultures, and empires. And with that understanding, well, you're in a better place. You're in a better place even if you need to sell and you lose money on a particular product that you may have bought. Because if you stack for long enough, well, you're going to pay different prices at different times. You're going to pay different premiums, even if you're just buying Eagles over and over and over again to stack, or generic bars, or name brand bars, or what have you. No matter what kind of silver you buy, you're going to pay a different price for it today than you would have paid even yesterday in many cases. Premiums change, spot price changes, and it's a matter of perception, and it's a matter of principle, really, and it's a matter of patience. But in that realm, we have to be realistic about the price, because again, it matters greatly whenever you do buy and whenever you do sell. It is a matter of dollar cost averaging and doing it in a smart way. You've heard me talk about this, and I did a video exclusively about this concept. It's not just dollar cost averaging. And when you dollar cost average, you have a budget. You have a set budget. And you strictly stick to that budget and buy, theoretically, the same type of silver each month, or maybe with a variety. Maybe you get a couple of generics, or privately minted silver, bars, low premium stuff, as well as Eagles, and you set that price that you pay each month, or that amount of money that you pay each month, no matter what the price is. I think it goes a step further. There's a way to be intelligent about it. Smart dollar cost averaging is a concept where you do pay attention to the markets, still retaining your budget. And maybe there might be some times where you actually can save money when the price goes up to a relatively high spike in price, where you're buying less and literally spending less money and getting much less silver. And then you set that money aside and you buy more, maybe much more, when the price goes down dramatically. That's smart dollar cost averaging. In either scenario, or both scenarios, you are always buying. You're just buying much less in terms of dollars, or whatever currency or nation that you have, and whatever world, whatever country you live in the world. You're spending much less when the price goes up, and you're taking that extra money that from one particular month or week or what have you, and you're applying it to more purchases when the price goes down and the premiums go down dramatically. That's smart dollar cost averaging. And I believe if you use that practice, you will see the results and the benefits of wealth preservation. And that's what it's about. It's about wealth preservation. That is at the center of it all. What is wealth preservation? Well, essentially, it's a savings. It's a savings method. It's a savings mode. Just like you put money in the bank, and conceivably in that bank account, there is some interest paid. Now, in this day and age, and for quite some time, we are losing money when we put our money in a bank account. I still think we should do it for emergency purposes, obviously, but this is a way to do it, to actually preserve your wealth by having silver, because of the value of the dollar. Every year is, by design, you're going to lose out because the value of the dollar is dropping, and you're not earning enough interest in order to make up for that loss of value. That's inflation, targeted inflation. Of course, now we are in actual inflation above and beyond what the Fed has designed. It's out of, almost pretty much out of control, although they say it's transitory, but we know that's not the case. And so therefore, we need to stay centered. We need to be focused on our strategy and on our finances, and fiscal responsibility is the key. And so therefore, diversification into silver, I think, is a way to be able to stay centered, as well as being able to have this really remarkable metal in your collection. Even if it's just Eagles, you got to admire the beauty of them. Even some of these newer eagles, one may not be a big fan of this side of the coin, but this side is still pretty remarkable, I would say. And nonetheless, that's what it's about, folks. It's about understanding that quite amazing principle, and the principle of saving. And that is really at the center of what silver is about. It's a way to save, and it's a paradigm shift in thinking, away from price and towards value. And being realistic about it too, when you do need to sell, so that as you implement smart dollar cost averaging, well, in the end, you may be selling some of the silver that you paid a lot less for than what you sell it for. It's going to hurt much less. I'll put it to you this way, depending on how much you need to sell, and when you do come to that point of necessity. But essentially, I am of the mind that one should not sell their silver unless it's necessary, or unless they can actually profit from it. And there are certainly cases where that can come into play, where you can profit from it and maybe use that money towards another investment or another strategic purchase. There's certainly times where that has come to play, and folks have talked about that. I think we should keep an open mind in those scenarios. I'm one that's less likely to implement that strategy, but nonetheless, in the end, being centered is what it's about. And Silver Center is there to help guide us in this paradigm shift of thinking as we understand silver's value as opposed to silver's price. Hope you found this video insightful. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.